What if India supplies the Philippines suddenly with 9 new BrahMos batteries facing the South China Sea? This Indian Defence News report claims that it could soon become a reality. Manila is reportedly considering 9 more BrahMos coastal missile batteries from India on top of the 3 batteries it already operates under the $375 million deal. And this report comes as Vietnam and Indonesia have also moved to acquire the Indian BrahMos missile after the Indian Air Force used it to smash 11 Pakistani air bases. Each BrahMos battery consists of 4 launcher vehicles with 3 missiles each, so 12 launchers means Philippines would have the ability to sink as many as 144 Chinese warships in the blink of an eye. For India, this is much bigger than another weapon sale. BrahMos is becoming a powerful instrument of Indian defense diplomacy across the Indo-Pacific. Every new battery means another military trained on an Indian system, another logistics relationship, and another country using Indian defense technology for maritime deterrence against Chinese aggression. India is looking at one of its most significant defense exports successes yet, with BrahMos becoming a formidable presence in China's backyard. This news report in Defense Security Asia states, if implemented at maximum scale, the program would move BrahMos from a concentrated marine capability towards a joint army-marine fires architecture spanning Luzon, Palawan, and other strategically exposed approaches across the archipelago. The Indian Air Force delivered the first BrahMos missiles to Manila in April 2024. The move comes as China continues to assert expansive claims in the South China Sea under its imaginary and illegal 9-line, while the Philippines upholds its own sovereign rights and maritime entitlements under international law. In August 2025, the Indian Navy even conducted a joint maritime exercise with the Philippines Navy near its Scarborough Shoal, which even China claims, and is the reason behind several confrontations between the Chinese Coast Guard and the Philippines Navy. India and the Philippines share strong ties, with bilateral trade reaching $3.9 billion in FY 25-26. The Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. last visited India in August 2025 for a 5-day state visit. During the visit, of course, Marcos Jr. and Prime Minister Narendra Modi elevated ties to a strategic partnership, signing about 13 or 14 MOUs on defense, maritime security, digital technology, and space cooperation under a 2025-29 action plan. Marcos has since revealed that Manila is actively negotiating to acquire more BrahMos missiles from India as part of the modernization drive of the armed forces of the Philippines. Driven by BrahMos missile sales to the Philippines and the likes of Akash Air Defense and Pinaka rockets to Armenia, India's defense exports reached an all-time record high of 38,400 crore rupees for the 2025-26 financial year. In fact, BrahMos made its real combat debut during Operation Sindoor last year in May 2025, and the world saw the ease with which Indian Air Force jets beat Chinese origin air defenses to strike 11 Pakistani air bases. Why has Prime Minister Modi sent India's Defense Secretary to Armenia and had Pralay, BrahMos, Akash NG and Astra Mark 1 missile become part of the conversation? This is no routine diplomatic visit, and Erdogan's Turkey and Azerbaijan's Aliyev simply will not like this. Armenia is rapidly modernizing its military hardware, and India has emerged as its biggest defense supplier. Now, New Delhi and Yerevan are discussing not just weapon purchases and weapon sales, but defense research, advanced technology, joint development, and even co-manufacturing of weapon systems. If these talks turn into contracts, India could secure a far bigger defense footprint in the Caucasus. Will this be PM Modi's biggest masterstroke against Pakistan's terror backers, Turkey and Azerbaijan? Indian Defense Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh met Armenia's Defense Minister Suren Papikyan and Chief of General Staff Lieutenant General Arsyan in Yerevan. Now, Armenia's Ministry of High-Tech Industry and India's Ministry of Defense have signed a Memorandum of Understanding or MOU to boost cooperation in defense sector, which includes cooperation in research, innovation and co-manufacturing of military hardware. The Indian Ministry of Defence revealed on X. The two sides signed an MOU on cooperation and research, development, innovation and shared production in the defence industry, reaffirming their commitment to expand bilateral defence industrial cooperation in areas of mutual interest. And this is where the story gets even more interesting. The agreement is not limited to selling finished Indian weapons to Armenia. India and Armenia are now discussing joint research and design, defense tech startups, knowledge exchange, scientific research and development, and co-manufacturing. So what weapons could be at the center of this expanding partnership? Reports claim talks were held on Pralay tactical surface-to-surface missiles, Akash Mark 1 BVR missiles of Indian Air Force, and Sukhoi 30 fighter jet upgrades. India and Armenia also reportedly signed a new document defining the new format of cooperation between the general staffs of the armed forces of both the countries. Armenia has become the biggest buyer of Indian military tech after its defeat in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, and it now seeks to diversify away from legacy Russian origin or Soviet-era weapon systems. India has already supplied Armenia with guided Pinaka rockets as well as Akash air defense systems, both of which are now actively deployed with the Armenian military. Between 2020 and 2024, Armenia committed about $2 billion just to procure Indian weapon systems. Just days earlier, Armenia showcased the Akash air defense system in live war drills. Impressed by its performance, Armenian generals are now seeking the longer-range Akash NG air defense system, which extends the range from 30 kilometers of the basic system to 80 kilometers in Akash NG. Armenia is also reportedly keen on the supersonic BrahMos missile, the Pralay tactical ballistic missile, and Astra Mark 1 beyond visual range air-to-air missiles for its Sukhoi 30 jets. Why is India spending 1,943 crore rupees to lease just two MQ-9B SeaGuardian drones from America when India has already ordered 31 armed drones and is awaiting delivery? Because the Indian Navy may not have the luxury of time or waiting. Pakistani terror threats are always looming. Hafiz Saeed's Lashkar or LET terror group have been pictured undergoing water training in Pakistani dams, and India cannot allow another 2008 Mumbai terror attack style incident. On the other hand, China has increased its presence in the IOR, raising the need for 24/7 surveillance. The Ministry of Defense has thus signed a 30-month lease for military drones with US-based General Atomics for two MQ-9B SeaGuardian drones. Former Vice Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Anil Khosla decoded the reason behind the hefty price tag, stating, "The 1,943 crore price tag is not a basic rental fee for two airframes. General Atomics provides the entire ecosystem, possibly including ground control stations, satellite communications bandwidth, continuous payload integration, spare parts, and on-site engineering support." The MQ-9B SeaGuardian is a high-altitude maritime drone designed for long-range surveillance and operations. The Indian Navy already operates two of these drones via an earlier lease, which will expire in 2027. They are operated out of the Naval Air Station INS Rajali in Tamil Nadu. But India has already signed a $3.5 billion tri-service mega deal with the United States in October 2024 to purchase 31 armed MQ-9B drones, but the deliveries are yet to begin. The two new drones will fill the gap till then. Out of the 31 new drones India has purchased, the Indian Navy will receive the majority share of 15, while the remaining 16 land-based Sky Guardian drones will be divided equally between the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force. The new 31 drones will be armed with Hellfire missiles and laser-guided small-diameter bombs. The AGM-114 Hellfire missile has a strike range of 11 kilometers. Reportedly, the leased drones will be procured without the missiles. But why are these drones so special? They are recognized as the world's most renowned high-altitude, long-endurance aircraft. These can fly up to 35 hours non-stop or around 30 hours even when heavily armed, with a range exceeding 5,000 nautical miles and a cruising altitude above 40,000 feet. These drones can carry 363 kilograms of internal payload and external payload exceeding 2,100 kgs across 9 different hardpoints. Its automated detect and avoid system enables safe operations even in international civilian airspace. For maritime missions, it can deploy sonobuoys, which are small, expendable sonar devices used to detect and track enemy submarines underwater. Its Raytheon Sea View multi-mode radar can detect and track hundreds of vessels at a time. The drone also features ELINT or ELINT systems for monitoring hostile radar and communications, along with electro-optical and infrared sensors for day and night imaging and laser tracking. Leave a comment, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.